passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on, so Nuoff in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the round pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And it definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down it towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot of fun. Yeah, and it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is enjoying himself watching. And the Burger King machine's off into the grass a little bit there. Is that really bunching up now?
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
Oh, they're going to toss it. They haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such up. He's touched on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry.
Welcome along, everybody, back for some radical S10 racing cars around the Racing Road Atlanta in America for our round 7. Bathurst is coming up next. That'll be an exciting one, but for now, we're going to sit here in the United States of America. We, being Mr. Dean Biggles and Mr. Adam Hedgecock, will be alongside me in the booth there. How are you doing, Mr. Adam? Oh, by the way, happy birthday, Mr. Adam. Congratulations on your birthday, mate. Another lap around the sun is done. Yeah. Yeah. It should be. And Mega, speaking of the championship standings, if you'd like to go over that for us, please.
Well, Kiki Ming, Kjetil Larsen and Mike Bousson rounding out your top 10. Then we have Aaron Bremer, Kane Halliburton, Max Milliman Schreider, Paul Crabb, Christoph Lipp and James Ibram. They are your top 16 pros.
Sorry about those technical difficulties, my friend. You were muted there for a minute from last week when I had my ear infection. I do apologize about that. Thank you very much for letting us know. Phil across the pond out there. And,
Good evening.
We got quickly a little bit here, my friend, to go over those AM standings.
Of course, yeah. AM Championship as it stands, Kim Andre Bjorkland still leads the way there with Gordon Haig and George Gonzaga rounding out the top 3. They are followed by Guy Robertson, David Walters, David Rolliston, Menno de Graaf, Gary Truby, Chris Max Davies and Glenn Christensen. They are your top 10. Then we have Stefan Mellis, Daniel Cascado, Bastian Lindlau, James Barry, Damian Gee, Miro Haratsky, Graham Brown and Sandro Capella. They are your AM drivers.
Excellent. Sorry about that. I had to get up for a second there and close some windows because it just started bucketing down. You might have just heard that. Bucketing down
did just
rain
hear that, yeah.
here where I am in my neck of the woods. So had to make sure some of those windows were closed. Otherwise, I'm going to have water everywhere. iRacing, unfortunately, won't have water just yet, but that is hopefully the plans.
Oh, I saw the pictures from it in that little stream they did. It does look good. I can't wait to take pictures of it, I have to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go. And of course, we know you do take pictures. You saw the ad at the start there. So if you do require your services, what is it? It says you're in the... We're also supported, of course, by iLoungeRacing.co.uk. And, of course, Mr. Adam, you can find your information there as well in the description, because we are going to our lone qualifying session right now, my friend. What are the sort of times are you expecting around here?
So I have to be honest, I didn't pay attention to the ultimate time. I was more intrigued, bewildered, blown away by how close they all were. It looked like the top 12 or so were literally a couple of tenths separated, the whole lot. There were drivers there. I think that in one section there was 5 drivers with less than 2 tenths between them, which is incredible. And this track, we know it's a big draft track. You get through the first half of it, and then it's all about staying close so you can carry the draft all the way down this long straight. If they're that close through it, we're going to have a right old tussle coming down into the final chicane area.
This is the final chicane area practically right now. All we'll do is that we'll take a ride on board with Mr. John McCutcheon from the team Radline Orange. It's not red, it's orange. Let's roll on board and take us for a hot lap guide around here, please.
Here we go. First bravery test of the lap. There are a few slinging into turn one. You're going uphill, so it gives you a little bit of benefit, but don't run too wide. That grass will take you all the way to the wall. You flick it left, you flick it right, over the little curb on the inside. Try not to run wide. Hug the inside as much as you can. And then it's downhill through the twisties. Car can get loose. Just run it through as clean as you can. Slam the anchors on. Run wide. Use that curb. Don't unsettle the car though. And then relax just for a moment. The first hard bit is done. Brake as late as you can and sling it into the beautifully cambered right-hander. And then stamp on the brakes. Slow it right down. Very easy to go wide here. And then relax. All about the exit. Long, long, long run. All the way down to the oddly named corners, 10A and 10B. I am not sure why they didn't call them separate numbers. But that's how it is. Over the crest of the hill, we can see down to that left and then right now. Pick your braking point as best you can. Run the inside curb. Not too much so you'll get a slowdown. And then on the power as early as you can, over the rise of the hill, watch the rear of the car, it will get light on you, and then flat out through the last corner. And that is my finest Martin Brundle impression for a lap around Road Atlanta.
Very nice. You gotta hug the apron like your favourite grandma. Martin Brundle, he would say that as well. Good job there. For the birthday boy, and just to elaborate there, because I spoke to you quickly about as Baba goes to the top of the timesheets, while you're muted about your birthday there as well too. What did you want to say? What you were saying?
Yeah, so yeah, I said, you said another lap round the sun. I said, yes, they are. The laps are getting quicker and quicker, and it certainly feels that way. Right, absolutely, it does.
Isn't it? It's interesting because when you're younger, it goes really fast, and then it kind of slows down at some point. I think, what is it? Your 20s? I'm not quite sure. Or your 30s, somewhere around that. Goes.
I think everything
slower.
Runs slow in your 20s because you're hungover for most of them.
Yeah, true. And then it starts to pick up again, but then it gets slower again. Phil's a little older than all of us actually, so he might know. But, yeah, and then when you're really retirement age, and that's the time goes really slow. It slows down again. I don't know. Phil's saying that's it. Oh no, that's
still
it.
Still a while off from that. Yeah, I mean, enjoying the 40s, I can tell you that much.
Hmm?
Definitely enjoy being in the 40s.
So, yes, Borkland there for the Norwegian driver, getting right up in the mix there for the AM class. As
P2.
I said that, P2.
Wow.
Actually, yep, not the AM class.
He is, so I figured out why it's an odd colour. Whenever you look at a driver, it puts that yellowy, greeny, orangey colour.
That's right.
On them, so it changes his normal blue to that colour.
Yes, that's absolutely correct. We can see we're on Snyder at the moment, who there is not showing a class. That's the reason why it's coming up with the black there. So I don't think I can get that result in time actually for the race.
Look how close those times are as well. I was saying about it like in practice that they were incredibly close. That's insane. You got Baba, almost 4 tenths out. And then from there, another 3 tenths takes you down to 7th. And then another 3 tenths takes you down to 13th. That's insane.
That's like Formula 1 pace almost you're looking at with the times. Probably even quicker.
Jürgen Frank does the same time as Erin Baba at the top. Wow.
Yeah, this only goes to 2 decibels, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing, a 115.3. I'm seeing 115.34, I guess it's rounding up in our software, but on the screens you can see 115.339 to rounded to 3 decimals actually, not 2. On our software it's only 2, my friend, but it's a little bit more on the screen.
Now we all know in the outside motorsport world, whoever sets the lap time first. takes the position. I'm assuming it's the same for the software. I'll have to be honest. In all my time of using the software and watching streams that have run the software, I've never seen a dead heat. So,
true. What about Jürgen at the moment? See at what we are looking at this machine. He's the one that's on the identical time. Now, as Baba on the track Baba is, you can see only a green for the second sector, purple for the second sector for Frank, but not an improvement on first and third. So we'll see
between these two gladiators. Who's going to steal the top spot? Unless, of course, somebody else comes in there and does it. That's very much a probable possibility. So there it is. Jürgen takes it this time around by 13 thousandths of a second. And can Bubba respond? Doesn't look like it. That's very slow. Just, yeah. Has he run out of fuel?
I'm not sure.
He just crossed the line. Yes. And he hasn't parked it. Now he's warming it up, so he does have enough time for a couple of laps. This one, of course, will be his out lap.
So in the GT3 world on iRacing, which is what I'm more familiar with, there is a tactic where you... No, he has parked it.
Yeah, he parked it.
There is a tactic where you do a couple of really slow laps, bring the car in, and then absolutely hammer it on your third lap. I am wondering if... at the time, I thought maybe that's what he was doing, but having put lap times in, that wouldn't be the case.
Everybody's pulling over. Every single car I go to at the moment is pulling over. Finish off the... Yep, they have all finished off their qualifying session. It's probably something that's in their chat as well, too, or race control chat, to say qualifying's over. Even though we still have a couple of minutes left on the counter. We do have a couple of cars out. Let's see if Jürgen... We have Stefan here as well. We have one driver has yet set a time. That's Mr. David Walters. What do you think? This is looking like Stefan here. Mellis is on a flying lap.
It certainly looks that way. He hasn't gone green in any sector so far, so he's not setting personal bests, but he is certainly motoring compared to all the other cars that we were looking at anyway. Oh, he takes a wide line into that final right-hander of the chicane there. It almost sounded like he had a lift over the hill. I wonder if the rears of these cars are lifting up. I know their winged cars generally have a little bit of a trouble going over that hill.
And the time wasn't an improvement, no. And that's
no, he couldn't improve.
Every other driver has parked it.
Maximilian there, he's gripping the wheel so hard he's physically shaking.
Let's have a look at him there.
I'll show you, wheel.
You need to get your tear-off strips, my friend. Need to be a bit smoother there. You got air bubbles.
Oh, he has. Oh, there we go. He must be listening. There he goes. On his
Get on the gas. There you go.
We can also see it's a bright sunny day here at Road Atlanta, so he's wearing the tinted visor.
Mm-hmm. That's right. It changes magically, doesn't it, in iRacing? As soon as it crosses over a certain time, bang, it goes clear visor.
It freaks me out. Every time I see it, I'll be on board like looking at someone, all of a sudden they're staring back at me because the drivers don't blink. They are so in tune with their vehicles, they don't blink.
No, you don't blink. I was talking about the Wild West before,
yes,
that I was doing, and it's just like in the Wild Western days, nobody smiles in photos, okay? That's just not thought of back in the day. He's like, did you hear the rumor that this person smiled for a photo? Like, what? What? It can't possibly be true.
Heresy, burn the witch.
Pure concentration. Mr. Maximilian Schneider, who's just popped the car. I keep going over my head on this one. You should have to drive the cars back to pit road. Sorry. You're in a proper racing simulator here. Should be made do that.
Agreed.
All right, we'll see if we got the gridding up a moment there to show you the grid. There it is, my friend.
There we are. Jürgen Frank takes your pole position ahead of Erind Baber in P2. Kika Ming and I was going to say Philip Lip. It's not Philip Lip at all. It's Christoph Lip. That P throws me. On row 2, Tim Bertie and Kim Andre Bjorkland, your leading AM, are on row 3. Mike Buson, Maximilian Schreider, Rudolf Nagal and Gordon Haig round out your top 10. John McHutchinson leads Kittel Larson in 11th and 12th. Owen Bremer, Gary Truby, Menno de Graaf, Guy Robertson, Stefan Mellis, Damien Guy, and then last but not least, David Walters round out your 19-strong field.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're going to get ready to go. Now, penultimate round is Bathurst is next. Unless I'm all wrong on that one. Pretty sure I'm correct. We would get ready to call this restart, my friend. You can see them. They go around the corner as well, too, on this one. So very, very interesting. Let's go racing.
Yeah, it's lights out and off they trundle, or something along those lines. We see, who was that? Baba. Brilliant start from Baba there on the outside. Manages to get the move done down into turn 1. Beautiful start from Baba there. Frank just didn't seem to get the transition going. Is he going to hold it going into the top of the hill? He is. Oh, a little bit of a touch. Baba goes wide. You're going to get a slowdown there. That's a big slowdown. Can he avoid the drivers coming on? Oh, Kika Ming just glances him, gets away with it. Not quite sure how, but that puts Kika Ming up into second place. Christoph Lipp in third. Bjorklund, our lead am, up into fourth. And Baba is still serving that slowdown.
Oh, what a nightmare of a slowdown as well, too. There's some nice battles going on at the moment. We'll show you that live timing tower. You can also show at the moment, they see those position gainers and losers. But that man at the moment has gained it. So Jürgen Frank back into the lead of this race after losing that position off the start. Keep an eye on Christopher in the background here. Try to bring it. Good strips, straight line slipstream. And into, as you said, the all-important final couple of corners.
You need to get the power down as early as you can with a car right in front of you and right behind you. It's not easy. Well, wasn't sure who that was. I think that was Boos on there, having a little look on the inside of the final corner. You have to be brave and have a compliant darts partner to go through there too wide. I can tell you that for nothing.
The bird shuffling around going here, so Mr. Snyder making his way past there, Mike Booster. It's also thinking about getting the opportunity there for the 16 machine. That's Mike there, and in the background there's Larson and the green and white machine. They are fast and they're furious. These things look so much more quicker, aren't they? Driving.
I think with a track like this, because there's a lot of cameras at play, it makes them look more like go-karts, and it's brilliant. You see them jostling around, literally throwing it into corners, using the cameras where they can. It's wonderful to watch the speed they pick up. It's a very, very fast and flowing circuit. Even the braking zones aren't particularly heavy, with the exception of the final 10A, where you do have to slam the anchors on fairly aggressively, but even then you're on the power straight away. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful to see them bounce around.
There's a teammate exchange-a-roo just before there between the SimRC crews. You can saw them for the overtake passes, and here's one at the moment. Christopher Lipp having to defend off Auckland. Very, very quick, feisty Norwegian driver trying to find his way past. He's already gained 2 positions in this race as well.
He has. There we go.
I think we've had a couple of crashes, unfortunately. Let's have a look at this one. From Stefan Mellis. To Stefan Mellis, Sami.
Oh, that's too much speed.
Yeah.
Too much. You could see that a mile off. He was, hold your brakes, be predictable, gets away with it.
That's right.
Oh,
That's Damien Lee there that just manages to avoid that one. Loses the place, of course, but doesn't have any damage on the car. Back to live pictures. So our race led up right up the road. Here he is. No problem. Yeah.
1.4 ahead of Ming. We saw this before, didn't we? A couple of rounds ago. Ming, when he gets in his groove, he's impressively quick and can be there or thereabouts. Was it the Sebring round? I think it was, wasn't it? Where he was right up there and didn't really disappear from the mirrors for a majority of that race. Bjorklund, though, what a drive from him so far. Only a couple of seconds back from Frank overall, and in 4th place in the AMs. He is streaks ahead of Haig, who is your P2 AM, who's all the way down in 10th place.
Absolutely, you're right. Good catch on that one. He's walking on. Riding on the chicanes as you basically barely see anything but a car's exhaust up the road there. And you've got a lot of faith right now in the driver that you're following, that their braking point isn't similar to yours, and also they're accelerating, otherwise you're tangling straight into the back of them. This is where you get precision racing at its finest. It's great to watch.
I've not driven these cars, so I'm not quite sure how much you can see past the car in front when you're when you're in the heat of battle. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Having the faith and belief that the car in front of you is going to just continue going full beans. See Bjorklund having a look up the inside into 10A, gets it done before 10B on the power. Beautiful move from Bjorklund. P3 overall from the AM. Wonderful stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. Told you it's a Norwegian on fire here at the moment. Oh, but this coming back. Is he going to be able to hold off this one? No. Yes, he can actually, sorry. Who was that? Was that Barber that went through? Now, the Barber, we did this right. It was Barber that caused at the start of the race. Remember, that went off wide and had that slowdown. Now has to make his way back up to the field. And doing it. P4 currently at the moment.
Very opportune from Baba there. We saw Lip. He was having a look, wasn't he, at Bjorklund, trying to get that position back. Almost looked like he had a run and then realised he had to go defensive to try and keep Baba back. But Baba was saying, thank you very much. I will get involved with this, and threw it up the inside himself. Wonderful stuff from these three. And they're still building a gap from the guys behind.
Have a look at this replay of the situation. There it is.
Oh, that's a
moving.
late move.
I don't know if he just didn't want to be a part of that party anymore and says, no, but then he comes back because they just chase through. Maybe he thought, okay, Bubba's going to get past me anyway. So that Bubba passed. We're talking about Larson at the moment. That's currently behind. And then, you know, let them tangle, as they almost did there too.
They did. I think it's one of those things, you have to be aware of who you're actually racing. Now, we know there's not a lot of difference between the front guys, but sometimes you just have to say, hey, you know what, that guy's faster than me. You go ahead, I'll follow you, you drag me along. You know? And I think that's what we saw there. Running wide a little bit from Lip. Let Baba through. Baba's now ahead of Bjorklund as well. He's not hanging around. He's going to go after Ming as quickly as he can. But Baba back up into P3 after that horrifying start. I don't think you mind me saying. Running wide like he did. I know he got a little bit of a touch from Frank, but that was not the start he wanted.
I don't know what's happened to John, because John's gone in the pit road at the moment. So he was setting a pretty quick lap. There's the contact. Oh, and forced into the fence.
Was that a big lockup? I see a lot of smoke from the car on the inside as well. I'm not sure who that was.
And then he had a big toe back to pit road as well too. It's going to cost the Scotsman a bit of time. And Guy Robinson as well too has been in and out of the pit road. Currently running in P18. 2 positions lost. So, but battles are still brewing for P4 and P5, as you can see on your score sheet. And then the Larson train from P6 downwards. There's Larson. And just behind Larson, as you can see, a couple of gaggles of cars right there. A couple of teammates to deal with, and then the orange machine of Mike Booson.
But note very worthy mention for Walters there. David Walters started plumb last. Gain of 5 was up to P13. Gain of 6 now, our joint biggest mover. I know we're impartial, but go on, David. Get it, son.
And there it is, if you want to see the replay of it. Oh, that's just a left to allow past, big time.
He is, but let's call it like we should. Epic move round the outside of turn 1. No confidence to send it like he did. No, again, I think that's what we were saying about literally just before. Like maybe Truby thought, you're not really my battle. You're quicker than me. Who's that having a little moment? The 88
Bjorklund.
machine.
Bjorklund.
What has happened to
sure.
Bjorklund there?
And I'm surprised I don't have anything from race control at all.
No, I don't see anything there either.
So he maybe just come off into the track a little bit, because it's a certain amount of notifications that we get from race control. If it is, you have to go off the track for a certain amount of time in order for it to give for a message with us. So
looking at his traction there, I think he's cooked his tyres a little bit. So I'm wondering if he got a little bit of a half spin on the go. Sort of not enough for race control to pick it up, but just enough to basically lose those positions. And yeah, it looked like he was struggling coming out of the final chicane on traction. So maybe need a lap or two. Oh, the crunch as he went over the curb. He's driving a little bit angry right now because his lead that he had in the AM class is down to 1 position, 2.3 seconds. Haig is now right behind him.
Jesus, it's like rolling on a wooden roller coaster, like bum, 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 bum. Track is aggressive. Especially when you're in the cockpit view, of course, then that's what you know the drivers are. That's what you drive it. Unfortunately, as much as you would like to, Mr. Adam driving like T-cam or driving nose cam or external cam. You can't do
Third
it
person.
in iRacing. Third person, yeah. So he just
I
dropped.
was,
Look at that. He was right up the tailpipe before and scrubbed off all that speed. So definitely something punishing, as you said. Maybe the tyres. We don't know.
Could well be. Something is not quite right with that machine. Gordon Haig has just been passed by Aaron Bremer there. So Haig down to 11th now, which is not great for him in his charge. He was right behind Bjorklund, who's now gained a position back against Buson. So Bjorklund trying to make up for lost time. I tell you what, further down this order, it's manic. Positions changing all over the place.
And this man, at the moment we're on board with, Larson, he's the IGL Coatings e-racing. He's just been holding off this pack behind, so he's doing a good job defensively. You know how hard it is to defend. We've seen some fantastic overtaking around here. Some of the drivers are setting it up on the inside at the right time, making the car stop, getting the overtakes done, but nobody's getting it done on Mr. Larson. He's gained 7 places in this race, and he's looking to hold on to this P5 as best he can.
Is he hugging P5 like his favourite granny?
Yeah, there you go.
And let's not forget who he's got behind him as well. Bertie and Scheider, both SimRC drivers, so we know how quick they are, and we've seen how quick they are over the season. So Larson, phenomenal job so far. Absolutely driving the wheels off that machine, and yeah, like you say, holding on to P5, gain of 7 positions. The race could stop now. He would take that. Absolutely, he would.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe, yeah, but I was looking at helmet there for a second from a distance. I actually was like, that looked like Mark Webber's helmet. Just because I'm seeing the green, and I'm thinking Jaguar with Mark Webber's helmet back in the day when he was racing for the Jaguar racing team in Formula 1. That's what you see. It kind of looked a little bit like Mark Webber's helmet from a distance there, but anyway, he's the only green machine out there, my friend. All the other colours are in the bright yellows and reds, typical racing colours. Green is a racing colour, but oh, look at that. He's pulled that gap now that they were starting. So I guess he's doing it right on the corners, isn't he? Getting the exit spotted well so that then when you come under the attack on the massive straightaways, he's got just enough distance for them not to close, is what I'm looking for.
No, you're absolutely right. And let's look a little bit further back. Bjorklund is now on the back of these. Half a second and change just behind, and Buson is right behind him as well. He's dragged Buson with him, so what was a 3-car train is soon to become a 5-car train, with a Bjorklund who is very eager to make up for lost time after his incident. So yeah, this could get I want to say rather pushy shovey, let's go racing boys kind of scenario, but I think that'd be an injustice to them. There's going to be some action. Absolutely, there will be some action. Bertie, Larson, what happened to Larson? We've given him this praise, and he's dropping. Oh no!
I have to see where Larson's gone off. No, don't do it, Larson.
Run wide.
Stay off the. Yeah, that's the same spot as well too. So that's your popular. That's where you get your fold-out chair, Phil, to watch this race at this track, right there.
You do, and we called it on that qualifying lap as well, didn't I? Saying about the grass. Oh, what a shame! That is the last time I listened to you about praising a driver and how well they're doing.
Oh mate, I was doing it with Ewan the other day. Ewan's completely against it. He's like, all right, see if it works. He's like, go on the leader right now, and the leader's going to crash. The leader's going to crash, and it doesn't work like that, Ewan. It doesn't work like that. He just thinks it's a coincidence. There is no curses.
Oh, there is.
I'm right. Let me get my little mini voodoo doll of you out there and put some pins in and see if you can feel it.
Let's have a quick check where we are. Halfway through the race already. Wow, that's flown by. Jürgen Frank is out front. 2.7 the lead now, so he's extended a little bit over Kike Ming. Erind Baba was 2.5 seconds back when he started his charge. He's now only a second
going
behind.
Pits as well to Larson.
Yeah,
but definitely got some problems
damage.
with that car. Real quick there too, Damien Glees had a crash and it's forced him into the pit road, which he currently is right now, sitting in there for 2 minutes of change. And this is probably a heavy impact, or he's pulled off, or a technical issue. That's a technical issue.
Yeah, that
He's deliberately parked it off the racing line, and pulled off kind of thing and goes back to pit road. Still sitting there at the moment, so yeah, you know that for a fact.
Yeah.
The cat's jumped on your keyboard, or sorry, on your racing rig, or somebody was telling me too the other day about their cat was underneath the pedals.
Don't.
What has this happened to you as well? Probably happened to almost everybody.
JPB GT4 Series finale. Mark Fletcher, Adam Hedgecock going for the team championship. We needed, it was a 4-point swing in the end. Midway through the first race, my cat pulls out the graphics card cable. So the screen goes blank.
Oh, you didn't have it screwed in or anything like that? Or I guess so. You can't if it's like HDMI and all that these days. I stepped on it or something like that. It didn't pull it out with his mouth or anything, playing.
No, so I have those braided cables, and he likes the feel of them, so he kind of just chewed it and pulled it. In the middle of
go straight. Was it probably always in a braking corner or something like that too, isn't it?
No, I just come out of turn 1 at Jerez, so I just turned the wheel left because I know that I'd be straight off onto the grass, lost a chunk of time. But yeah, I was done over by a cat. But fortunately, we still won the team championship by 4 points. So
fastest man on the track, and certainly was fastest during qualifying. Trying to fight his way back up, and that's job done. Even before you get into the corner there from Bubba, so the Belgian has some serious pace. Problem is, he's got 3 seconds to catch back up to Frank. 3.4, so it could get done. Or he's got to continue to put in these really low 15s. But back to that about the cats and animals and things like that. Yeah, I think it's kind of nice in the racing sim world, because in the real world you're gonna have a lot of drivers have technical information, problems with the car that's out of their control. Something's gonna go wrong with the car or parts of the car or something like that, and then you break down and your race is over. Well, we don't have that simulation kind of thing in the sims, but we have that problem in your racing rigs at home, where electricity goes out, or once again the animals get involved, or you forgot it's your wife's anniversary and she's waiting at the door all dressed up ready to go out, and you're on your racing sim. Things like that occur. Or your mother's staring at you horribly because you've got to take the trash out.
Yeah, I can't pause it.
yeah, because people say the parents sometimes don't understand racing simulators. They think it's a game. Just pause it. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right. All right. Every 19 drivers at the moment. Everybody hit pause now, and then we'll resume in a second. Just going back to that, actually, one of my ex-girlfriends, her mum, is kind of like a little bit on tech. We'll keep an eye on that one at this battle at the moment. First, back to that one. It's three-way battle brewing. It's Bruma, Ivan Bruma there, Graf, and Gordon. Actually, no, it's Gordon Haig and Mike Boosen. Anyway, this her mum, we were hooking up on Netflix on our television, right? And she was like,
the classic Netflix and
chill. And then with her daughter's like going, oh, you can pause it, because she was only used to regular TV, right? Before, and so you can pause it. You can pause watching it. It's just like, but if I pause it, what about all the other people watching? No. And I was like, it completely got to you, mate. That actually makes sense. If it's the first time you see this, you probably, and then you're thinking of other people. It's just interesting to see how people react to technologies. Anyway,
yeah, this is true. What is interesting to see at the moment is how Bremer is somehow. The first part of the lap didn't look the tidiest, but somehow he's managed to stay right on the coattails of Haig ahead of him. Look at the slipstream. Wow, that's a big chunk of overspeed you get from the slipstream. He goes to the inside. Is he going to hold it down to the braking zone? Yeah, it's committed.
Actually, a little twirly really, isn't it, on Gordon Haig there? Could try to come back. But I think what Ivan's got there, Grandma, is it's not over yet, my friend. You might have had that little bit of an overtake, and now that I'll roll in reverse, Gordon Haig could come back there for the Sim Norwegian racing team. But I was going to say, Ivan Bremer there, the Dutch driver, he's got that JPB logo on there. See, that gives you an extra 5/10 per lap.
Is that where I've been going wrong?
Yes, mate, that's exactly where you're going wrong. Got to stick that to the car there. You get extra pace.
have a
You
word
just want
with
to
the
get a
team
little bit more
boss.
screen time at the moment. Well, everybody gets equal screen time if you're in close battles. Sorry, Jürgen Frank at the moment at the front. You don't get much screen time because he's flashing his lights. I wonder if he just heard me on that one.
No, I think it's because he's got Robertson just up the road. I'll have to have a word with the team boss. Boss, I found half a second. Whack this sticker on the car.
Yeah. So it's switching to rear again. Let's have a look at this as they still continue to battle it out. Three-way battle now. All right, here we go. Close your eyes. You just tell me what happens. I'm going to look away. No?
It looks like... oh, no, McHutchinson's in that. Okay, so it was McHutchinson. He's ahead of this train. He is just moving out the way. No, sorry, he has just moved out the way. Oh, there's a big twitch on the inside from Haig. Massive twitch there. Bremer
and have a look at
keeps
this from
it
his
together.
perspective because this will be interesting to see the two cars up the road. This is what it feels like to be in a party of three. It could turn into a party of two if they get pearl-shaped, or party of one. Hopefully not. There's been some fantastic racing, hasn't it, there?
It has. Buson looks neat and tidy. The car, not directly ahead, but the one further up, but nice and tidy through there. And you can see just visually, you can see that he pulled a little bit of a gap and managed to hold it through the S's. Very difficult to follow cars through there because you're relying on their line to guide you. And of course, you get understeer from driving that close to the car.
Something's happened here to Brooklyn. Is this going to be our classic spot? Is it? No? No.
Oh, a little late on the
Here,
brakes.
isn't it? Yeah, there it is. Oh, only a little bit. But you can see all the marks are going off into the fence there on the grass. Let's see.
I wonder if that's what he done the first time as well. That's kind of what I tried to envisage.
Further back, there's also a nice battle brewing here. That's Nagel. Rudolf Nagel. The Austrian driver, just getting an overtake done on Gary for P13.
He did. I wonder if Nagel's had some issues because he's P3 in the championship, if I recall. So being this far down, I'm surprised. We haven't really seen him too much. So maybe he's just not feeling this track. Maybe this is just not a track that suits him. But nice move there nonetheless. P13.
What if these two are going to settle down? And somehow, since Barber's been passed, Ming's been keeping up with him here. Kiko Ming, the Spaniard. Kiki Ming. So, all of a sudden, I don't know if Barber's just burnt through those tyres, trying to push as much as possible could to get back to this position and try to even take it to Frank. But at this point now, he's just run out of that super duper pace that he had before. Because, Mr. Ming behind him was actually a little bit quicker on the last lap. So Ming's loving getting this nice tow from the driver. Ming, who started in P3, currently running in P3, so might be thinking about taking that P2 back soon. He's got 6 minutes to try it.
He certainly has. Yeah, I was keeping tabs on the gap between Baber and Frank over the past sort of 3 or 4 laps prior to the last one. Baber was taking sort of a couple of tenths and then losing a couple of tenths and taking a couple of tenths. It was very nip and tuck. But then last time, he lost quite a substantial chunk. And Ming never really been any further back than sort of 7 or 8 tenths. In fact, this is probably the furthest back he's been so far. He's still in contention. He is still in touch. And that's what you want. That's what you need on a track like this. As long as you're there at the end with a chance of a move, then you won't want it any other way. No, absolutely not.
I'm just wondering if you're going to see the 2 battles you're seeing, essentially the 3 battles you're seeing. You've still got Nagel there and Turby going for it. So they did a different class, remember, they're battling for as well. They've also got Borklund here in the AM class, seeing if you could, who's leading the AM class at the moment. Wanting to see, it doesn't really necessarily need to take any of these positions, but hey, still, it's also for the glory. And as you mentioned, that battle for P2. And are they going to take a little bit more crazy risks? I guess you usually do, don't you, my friend, when it comes to the last laps of the race? Because that's the last chance you're going to get an overtake done.
No, absolutely right. I think at this stage of the season, like say, we've got the last round next week at Bathurst. Now that's a roll of the dice if you're not feeling confident there, slinging up on the inside, coming down through the S's from Bremer. That's brave. McCutcheon did his best to stay out the way. Was that McCutcheon behind?
No,
it wasn't. That was Gordon Haig.
Yeah. He completely got Gordon Haig napping through there. Or once again, Gordon Haig's not comfortable with those tyres or something through those high-speed S's and says, look, I'm better off seeing the checkered flag than seeing the fence.
Yeah, could well be. But back to the point I was making, it's Bathurst next week, which if you go there and you're not confident or comfortable with the car, that could be a very quick 0 points.
Oh, he's coming back
So
in
maybe...
here. Oh, last of the late breakers. You would have to break them very, very late on that one, Gordon.
Yeah, a day late and $1 short with that one.
Yep. That's another one for Martin, and I use that one quite a bit. I think James does too, but we can't claim fame to that one. That one's been around a while.
It's a classic. But yeah, so it might be that this particular race, they don't want to go gung-ho on the last lap. It might be that they just bank the points just in case something happens next week.
I think you're right, isn't it? Take a little insurance on that one and not try to cash out just yet. Cash it all out. Lay it all on the line, of course, on Bathurst for the final race to see whether or not you got guts or glory, of course, for the championship, depending where you are in the championship and how far you want. That's what it is.
Of course, it's super easy for us up here in our air-conditioned commentary booth in our armchairs, watching with all the time in the world to consider these things. Or if you've got a car right in front of you and you think, I can get a position here, the racing driver usually takes over at that point.
Yeah, and it's always a different style. See, there you go. At this point, is he going to lift? No. Goes for it. Because for a fact if he lifted, he'd be happy to sit back there and wait another lap or two as they exchange the positions again. And what do you think about that? Like, as you know, for a race driver, all right, you got the overtake done. Then, of course, they get you back in a lap or so later. Is at this point you're sitting there looking at the clock going, all right, let's see who takes it on. That more importantly, the last lap will be the most important one to do the overtake?
On a track like this, absolutely. You don't want to be the car in front on the last lap here, especially like how close these are, because if you are the car in front, you will get slipstreamed. There's no two ways about that. And then you're in an awkward position of trying to defend it. So yes, you're right. You would be looking at the clock and trying to time that as best you can.
That's the DRS effect too in Formula 1, and as well. More in the racing Formula 1, people do that deliberately all the time. In certain tracks, of course, they will just stay back there and make sure they get the DRS, and then just take candy from a baby with the mighty DRS straights. That's in Formula 1.
Fernando Alonso does that a lot. I've noticed that he's very, very canny with his usage.
That's just called an off track here from Gaza. Doesn't look too bad there, so I think that's just all that was. Yeah, a little 1 second off track, so it's good. Did lose a position from it, so he's still running currently in P14, exactly where he started. Now, our race leader, Jürgen Frank, has got a 2 second gap. That other battle has just completely panned off, isn't it? Because Ming now is 3.4 seconds down the road. Now, I don't see any messages from race control. Another one that has race control. We're going to have to talk to race control, mate. They've been slacking off on the job in this one. Because you saw how close he was. We finished second. Now he's 3.4 down the road. So either just an off track or something, or really felt, oops, these tyres may be done and I almost binned it into a fence, so I'm just going to lift off right now. I can't get past Baba. I'll settle for the P3. Who knows? We're trying to put ideas into drivers' heads, or they're pretty sure they know what's going on.
It might be that I'm really bad at curses. Like, I'm not a good enough commentator to give a proper driver curse. So he just went slower a little bit after saying how well he was doing. Maybe that's a thing.
True, Gary. Just race control is giving us information about Gary going off track for a couple of seconds. That's okay, but we're not going to show that right now. I want to see this battle that's brewing up, because we're down into the final minute. Now, a race leader, as you can see on the track map of Frank, has started the final lap, and he's in the sector 1. Keep an eye on this battle that's there. Brooklyn as well may be able to do something to Snyder, but that's going to be very late. You need to be about this 2/10, 3/10 before you get that slipstream, and then you got the opportunity. You can see Barney in the background waving the white flag. So All right, guys, you've got a little bit of time here to get the overtake done before we'll switch it over to our race leader. So, TikTok, you're on the clock.
I have a feeling that that Frank or Baba, if there's an issue, will cross the line, and then we'll come back to see these two heading into the final chicane. I think that's how, looking at the track map, that's how it will play out. Yeah, Frank and Baba are heading down towards the final chicane now.
I wonder why Carl's going into the pit road as well, too. That could be out of gas or something, because you wouldn't box right now.
No, you wouldn't.
No, he's going to lose a couple of places, too, with some of those retirements, and he's pulled out. I mean, I don't know. Oh, drive-through, I'd say. And anyway.
Jürgen Frank then crosses the line. Erin Baba, 1.3 behind in the end, so he ran a really good last couple of laps there. And Kiki Ming rounds out your podium. Brilliant drive from Ming. Lip and Bertie have crossed the line, P4 and 5.
So let's see about this one.
This is that battle then.
Traffic
Haig didn't get past. Scheider, he's dropping down the order, so both Bremer and Haig got past him. Haig wasn't able to take that position in the end, but Scheider lost a couple of places. P10 in the end. Wonder if he was short on fuel a little bit. Graf comes in P11. Walters crosses the line for P12. Great drive from Walters, up 7 positions, our biggest gainer of the day. So sterling effort from him. P4 in AMs overall. Notable mention, by the way, we should say Bjorklund did win the AM class with Haig in second. That might be why he didn't force the issue too much with Bremer. And Graf was P3 there. As the last cars crossed the line. Note we're still waiting for Truby and Mellis. Truby, there we go. Julie obliges, and Mellis. Where is Mellis? There's Mellis coming under the bridge, down the hill for the last time. Big smile at the Michelin man as you go past. And there's Barney with the checkered flag.
Oh, that's right. We've done this before. I have to go back to Phil. He said, thanks, guys, for another classic commentary. We were doing a competition where we were, actually, it wasn't him. It was the big oil container that's on one of the tracks.
That would be Hockenheim.
Yeah, we were saying, okay, guess how many liters or whatever is in that thing and you get to take it home. Anyway, we'll have our race results in a second. We can't tell you, actually. I don't know, but some of you will figure it out. So some of you use some clever mathematics and work out the area of IM and all that sort of stuff. What we'll do, but, of course, is that we have to show you those race results because that's what we like to do here at JPbroadcasting Network. There you go, my friend.
There we are. So Jürgen Frank is your race winner, 1.3 seconds ahead of Erin Bava in P2. And as we said before, Kika Ming, another sterling drive from him, P3, rounding out your podium. Then we have Lip and Bertie. They are your top 5. Kim Andre Bjorklund wins the AM category with a brilliant drive into P6. Given all of his trials and tribulations, I think that's the most he could hope for. Mike Buson, Iron Bremer, Gordon Haig, your second place AM, and Maximilian Scheider round out your top 10. Then we have Menno de Graaf, David Walters, Rudolf Nagal, Gary Truby, and Stefan Mellis. They are your top 15, and they are the last of the cars on the lead lap. We then have Guy Robertson, John McCutchinson a lap down, Kettle Larson, who was driving so brilliantly up until his issue, way down in 18th and 2 laps down. And then Damien Guy, we saw a little while earlier, just driving into the pits with what looked like a technical issue. He was 19th and last.
Show his name up there too for some reason. But we do have one of the drivers that should be happy to talk to us. Certainly we'll be happy with the race results here this evening. If you'd like to bring... Oh, you still can't do that yet?
I still can't do that.
Still,
I'm not blue.
You're going to have to shoot a message on that one. We'll get the powers at B. But we will bring in Jürgen. Welcome along to the... interview room, my friend. Jürgen, congratulations. You won the race.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening.
Good evening, Jürgen. Talk us through the start. It didn't look like you had the best of getaways, and then there was a little bit of contact. Tell us about it from your point of view.
Yeah, looked like I didn't have the right clutch point, obviously, not a perfect one, and so I decided to go too wide with him. Worked pretty well into turn 1. And for turn 2, my intention also was to go too wide. And yeah, I had a tiny overlap in the end, or into the entry of turn 3. And I'm pretty sure he thought I would yield there. Yeah, I mean, I can understand his thoughts there, but yeah, also I can say at the start it can happen that you go too wide and risk a bit. So yeah.
Well, one thing we know for certain, there was no malice in it. We've seen you drive enough. We know that that's racing and that's hard racing. From then on, it was pretty much plain sailing. You had a gap, and then it was just time management and gap management, wasn't it?
Yeah, true. But the last 10 laps or so, I had problems with the tires. I had mistakes in the exit of turn 3, some little slides on the curb. And yeah, here and there, little mistakes suddenly. The more worn tires. Yeah, in the end, I really had to get the things together that Arendt doesn't get me. Yeah, I made it work. Was quite close also with lap cars. Think he and also me had like a half-second loss each for lap car. So that would have been different. Yeah, things could have gotten very interesting in the end.
Wow. Speaking of very interesting, Bathurst next week, my friend. How are you feeling?
Oh, okay. Didn't know it's on the schedule, but okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I think for this one I have to get some more laps in then, because I can imagine that car on old tires here is on Bathurst is quite hard to drive.
Well, I'm sure you will entertain us and give it your all as always. Another brilliant drive from you tonight. Before we let you go and celebrate with your bottle of non-champagne, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to Aaron with his hyper pace. I also heard that he drove many races in the officials and was very fast. Yeah, obviously he been to quali lap, but in the race he was really, really fast. I don't think yeah, if the race was 5 laps longer, he would have overtook me.
Well, you've done all that was needed to take the win tonight. So congratulations again on another win. And yeah, we'll see you next week under the Australian sunshine.
Yeah, thanks to you guys. See you next week.
Cheers, Jürgen.
All right, excellent. So that was Jürgen there. I was just showing those replays of the race start there as well, too, from both perspectives, because we do have the other driver at the moment to talk about the race start, and as the man that finishes in P2. So let's grab the man that finished in P2, Mr. Barber, who had to fight his way back through the field there after that race start that we were just kind of talking about just before to Jürgen Frank. And now we get opportunity to hear your version of that.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
No, nothing special, really. Just I thought I cleared Jürgen, and I didn't know we were going to go too wide there, because normally it's unnecessary to go there too wide on the first lap. I don't know, but it's okay, no problem. I had a slightly better start. And then, yeah, as I said, I thought, yeah, we will just, one of us will lift or something, and then overtake each other on the straight, because there is a big straight on the last corner. So yeah, before the last corner. So yeah, that's what happened. And then I was on my charge to get him back, but then like on Laguna, a bike marker, it slowed me down into the S curves like 1 second. So I lost almost 1 second there, and then it was pretty much over.
I suppose that's the problem with the S's here, isn't it? It's one line through, so if you don't get the move done before you go into them, you're kind of stuck.
Yeah, but I wasn't able to make the move, because the car in front was like 1.5 seconds ahead. On the first corner, and then I thought, yeah, okay, he will just have a good S section, but then he decided to let me by into in the curbs. So I think that's just like why. I mean, you're not fighting anyone. He was like 1 or 2 laps down. So, but it's okay, no problem.
Looking forward to next week. We're at Bathurst. How do you go at Bathurst? Is it one of your okay, I can keep it out the walls kind of track, or is it I really like it, I'm going to win next week kind of track?
No, I like Bathurst, but it's a dangerous track because if you touch the wall, then you're pretty much done. But yeah, we'll see. I hope no back markers because if you have back markers on Bathurst, then yeah, it's pretty much done. But we'll see. I think Bathurst is a great track, so looking forward to it.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. Are you the kind of driver, this is just me wanting to know this and not necessarily about the race. Are you the kind of driver that if you win next week, you'll do the jump over the table?
Yes, I will do the jump.
Oh, nice.
Of course, it's like mandatory. You need to do the jump.
That is the correct answer, sir.
So you're telling me there are people that don't do the jump?
Oh, I've definitely seen some people that don't do the jump.
I think they should be banned from iRacing.
Also,
No.
if you do win Bathurst, would you try kangaroo? If you have never tried it
I
before?
will try.
On the Barbie?
I will try.
Okay.
I will try. I'll try anything, guys. No problem.
Excellent.
If I win.
Yeah, all right.
Awesome. Erin, it was brilliant watching you battle through the pack again after that start. Wonderful driving
No
again.
problem.
Your pace still amazes both of us in the booth. Before we let you go, is there anyone you want to give a shout out to?
You guys and everyone on the league. So you're doing a great job.